Hello, Luis. How you doing? I'm still setting up, but I saw you were there, so I thought I'd come up and say hi. There's a link for anybody that wants to come up and talk. I'm just trying to get everything set up. Oh, what the heck happened there? All right, everybody. So how you doing, Luis? Jerry, how you doing, man? There's the invite for anybody that wants to come up. We got Shane here as well. Thank you all for coming. Whoa, the picture went down, guys. It's not your, it's me. So, you hit the wrong thing again. There we go. So, hey, Eileen, how you doing? Everything kind of going. Mike, married to a beautiful woman. Welcome, sir. Thank you for coming. Mike, Robert in Mindanao is getting ready to go back to the Philippines. He's leaving on Monday. And so he put up a couple of new videos. I went and checked him out. And he said he's leaving on Monday for the Philippines, going back to Mindanao. I guess his house rebuild, or he's a condo rebuild in Florida's done. So we're glad to hear that. I told him I'm looking forward to his new videos. He's said he's going to video the flight, I guess, or part of the flight. And then, well, they're flying from Florida. I think he said Atlanta to LA, and then flying out of there. I think they're stopping. I can't remember where he said they're stopping before they get to Philippines. So they're going. He's going back on Monday. Him and his wife and kids. So look forward to seeing that. I look forward to seeing videos from the Philippines. You guys know me. I enjoy them, whether they're from the Filipinos themselves or Filipinas, or from expats like yourself, Mike, or Dan, or Robert. Most of the expats, not all of them, but most of the expats I watch are Phil Am couples. There are a couple that are not married that I watch, but like I said, most of them are married or have a girlfriend that are in the Philippines living with them. But like I said, not all of them. And I enjoy much as I can see. Like I said, my plan, as I've told all of you before, is to go to Cebu first and see if I like it. Then there's a few places I'll check out if Cebu doesn't work out for me. One being Iloilo, another being Dumaguete or Valencia area. Davao, maybe. I'm a little leery of Davao, not because it's in Mindanao, but because of all the. We got Jerry coming up because of all the earthquakes
Hey,
they have there. But there
can you
are.
hear me?
Hey, yeah, I got you up there, boss. How you
Right?
doing?
Now there's no echo.
No, I'm not hearing an echo. No,
Okay. Good evening.
I see you're out there with the chicken feed.
Yeah, it's got little. It's kind of chilly, but it's not cold like last weekend.
Today's warm for us. It got up to about 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yeah, it's still chilly. We made in the 60s.
Like I said warm for us.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's still
Yeah.
cold. We
And
were.
a couple of days ago, it was like minus what was it? -8 or about -10 Fahrenheit. I'm not Fahrenheit, but Celsius. It was about 21.
I was gonna say minus Fahrenheit. It was really cold.
No, it was about 21
Yeah, yes.
Fahrenheit.
It's
And
Canada weather, Midwest
well,
weather.
yeah. Well, that was the the high was in the low to mid 20s, and the lows were in the teens.
Gee.
So that was just a few days ago. So, like I said, this 40-degree weather it's damp and it feels colder than what it is because of the dampness. We've been
Wow.
having rain the last few days, and that just makes it damp. And that dampness with the cool weather makes it go right to your bones.
Wow,
You know?
look at that.
Hey, Jolene.
Can you see
Jolene, how you
the
doing, Jolene? Welcome.
Can you see how that got burnt by the freeze last week?
Yeah.
The little brown.
Oh yeah, I see that kind of killed part of the leaves.
Yeah, we had that freeze Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday last week, and it was below freezing, like 6 hours overnight.
Yeah.
Tuesday and then Wednesday.
Hold on, Jerry. I got to ask Mike a real quick question. He says, I saw a flight from New York City to Cebu return for $1,000 Canadian. Okay. Because I'm assuming that's what CD means. But what I want to know, that was not the question, Mike. Are you talking that's a round trip? 1,000 Canadian for a round trip? That if it is, that's cheap. I mean, that's getting down there. I wouldn't mind that. But like I said, I can't go that far right now. My mom just turned 98 this month. And I guess the Midwest has been getting hammered with a lot of snow too, and cold weather. So I didn't go home. I'll go home sometime this spring or summer. I finally got I don't know how you're set on your tax returns. I just finally got everything in today for my tax returns. My my W-2, my Social Security information, my VA information. My VA was the last thing I got, and I got that today. The other two I got yesterday. So it's probably the next week or two. Maybe I might wait a month. I don't know. I got everything to do it. I think I'm going to owe I think I'm going to owe money this year.
No, that's not good.
Well, it means I made more money than expected, and I did. I made more money last year than I expected to. But if I don't owe money this year for the state, I got money back last year from the state. Federal. I owe the state. I know that'll be the same this year.
Does New York have a state income tax?
Yeah, like I said, I owed them money. I owed them money because of how much I made last year. Now this year I'll owe money again because I made more. But I got money back last year from the federal, so I may not owe them any. But next year I think I'll owe both, so I may go in to work and just have to take out extra money for the state and federal both. Just have to take out about $20, 10 for each one. I'd rather get money back than pay money out.
A good thing we don't have state income tax here in Texas.
I know you Florida, and I don't think Alaska has it. There might be another one. Yeah, Mike. I live in a state that's going to tax you no matter what. I even get taxed on my Social Security. Oh yeah, my Social Security. Now there are some states which I may decide to before I move over to the Philippines. I may do this. I may move to a state that doesn't have income tax, that doesn't tax your Social Security. Yeah. And live there for a year. I think Indiana's one, so I may go back home and visit my family back in Indiana, maybe transfer and go ahead and work for about a year, just so when I go over, I won't have to worry about New York taxes. So, I'll pay whatever I pay. After that 1 year, then it won't be any more to them. I'll be out of the state. So I don't know. I have to find out how much they actually tax me on my Social Security if I'm not working. If it's not much, I won't do it. It's just not worth it. But if they tax me pretty heavy, then I'll do it. But I don't think I'll have to. I don't think they'll tax me that hard if I'm not working. Because I think they go on how much you have over a certain amount. And then you get nailed for it. MSM Gaming, I didn't see your message, but welcome. I see you retracted it. Welcome here. So if you want to put down something, go ahead. Like I said, we're easy to go. There's a thing on top that for anybody that wants to come up and talk, we're more than willing, as long as you treat everybody with respect. You don't have to like each other, but you got to be respectful of each other. And if you don't want to come up, but you want people to know, hey, Ann, how you doing? If you want people to know about your channel, just type in LLL, and my Nightbot will drop your link. So, like I said, I try to make it easy on everybody. If you know how to drop your own link, you're welcome to do that if you're a monitor. But all you got to do is type in 3 L's. So, at first, when I first set this up, I wasn't planning on giving everybody a monitor, but I pretty much give one to everybody now. Hello, Beth. Good morning. Hope everybody's having a good Sunday morning over there. Hopefully, it's nice weather. Yes, happy blessed Sunday, Beth. I hope everybody's enjoying their Sunday morning. It's a Saturday evening over here in the States. All right, Mike. Mike's saying hi to Crystal, the most beautiful, amazing Crystal, the mother of 12 children and a one-legged chicken named Hop, who works hard supporting her family.
Hmm.
Yeah, but yeah. So how's everything going now? Oh, we got somebody else coming up. Retro's here. If you can come in, I got it. There you go, Retro. How you doing?
There you go.
Hey, Larry, how you doing?
Not bad. Now, Jerry, when do you plan on going back? I know you just got back not too long ago, but are you making plans to go back already?
I wanted to, but it's probably gonna be 2025 unless something changes. But
Well, if you can go back every year, that's not too bad. I mean, it'd be better if you could go back more, but
yeah, I wish there
know,
was. Yeah, I wish there was $800, $900 flights, but that was pre-pandemic.
yeah, like I said,
I'll be happy going just for 3 weeks. 2 weeks is not enough time. 3
I
weeks is
agree.
vital.
I went to China in '99 for 3 weeks,
See,
and it was barely enough time, if you ask me, when you travel that far. Yeah, I see the McDonald's bug.
Yeah, I got 2 now.
But I agree. Yeah, but I agree with you, Jerry. 2 weeks is just not enough. 3 weeks.
no,
3 weeks is not bad, but it'd be better if you could go for 4.
2 weeks not enough because it's about 3 days being in a plane. So
Yeah. Like I said, I went over. I was actually there for 3 weeks. I had 24 days off. I had 3 weeks vacation plus 3 paid days off, and so I used a day, to travel over. Came back a day earlier, and I had a day of rest before I went back to work. But you wouldn't
yeah,
want to do that if you only got 2 weeks.
no, there's not enough time.
Just not enough time taking 12 days. I mean, you got 14 is not enough, well alone 12.
Yeah,
That's why I said you want at least 3 weeks, and if you can, 4. And go ahead, Retro. What you got?
Oh yeah, I was gonna show them my new refill mug. I just ordered this.
Yeah.
This is a 1980s McDonald's refill mug versus my 1990s McDonald's refill mug.
All right.
And I bought it because my housemate scratched up the other one.
Uh-huh.
So my OCD kicked in and I bought a new one. This one's kind of worn out, but it kind of comes with the 1980s look.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got coffee in there right now. I can't drink too much of it though. I got a headache. So Larry, how you been, bud? Good to see you. It's been a while. Oh,
Not bad, not bad. Last week, my mom on last Saturday, actually it was on Saturday, here in the States, my mom turned 98.
Nice, congrats.
And, I have 3 sisters that still live back in Terre Haute. And then I got a niece and a great niece, my youngest sister's daughter and granddaughter. They all went and visited my mother and to help her celebrate her 98th birthday. My oldest sister was thinking about going, but she's 80, my oldest sister, and she's got a bad back.
Gotcha.
So she went out for a drive, her and her husband, and they were only about 3 hours, and her back was killing her. So she thought she better not make the trip. She usually takes 2 days to go. I do now myself, but she always has. I'm just thinking that she may have to start taking 3 days or longer to go back home, so she's not in the car too much if she wants to go back.
Yeah, I feel that, Lee.
Well, like I said, I can still do it in one day if I have to, but I'm dead tired when I get done with that 1 day drive. Because I did it last year coming home. Was it last year? No, it was a couple of years ago I did it. It was just the weather. I was like not stopping anywhere. Go ahead.
Is my frame rate on my camera okay? Because I am downloading a game onto my Windows PC that I technically did promise my viewers I play. It's just I want to make sure my Wi-Fi is working okay. There's
It's
no
all
lag
right.
right now. There's no lag right now.
Yeah, there's no lag.
Okay. So I just have to double check.
Your Christmas lights are getting dimmer and darker, and we got Dan coming up.
Who's Dan?
Dan, the man. How you doing, Dan?
Oh, Dan.
Howdy, everybody. How's it going?
Not too bad. Dan changed his times on me, guys. He now does it
Wow.
early morning, evening in the
Dan.
Philippines, but early morning here in the States. He starts about the time I get up to start getting ready for work or driving to work. So I haven't been able to join him for a while.
I'm going to be starting a second channel, though.
Oh, yeah?
And,
What's it going to be called?
Well, I'm not good. I haven't registered. I haven't set it up yet. Nobody's using the name yet, but you'll see. It'll be today. I'll be setting that up. It's going to be U.S. based, and it's going to be all the crap that I can't talk about. It'll be all the stuff I can't talk about on the Philippine channel because it doesn't have anything to do with the Philippines. It's all the stuff that's going on in the U.S. right now.
All right. Do you see
So it's going to be
Gary's here.
Oh, hey, how's it going? Hi, everybody. Oh, I see it. That's a nice McDonald's mug.
Yeah, I have two now, Dan. I have two now.
Oh, that's nice. Well, you got me beat. I only have the cute bug that I just did a video on. I don't know if you guys, nobody's watching it. Yeah.
What
YouTube,
check it out.
Yeah, YouTube isn't letting this one go out for some reason on the short videos. I think because they might think it's kids oriented,
All right. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm all mine not made for kids. Did you see my? Did you see my?
Is that a caterpillar?
Sausage video there? Short? Yeah, it was actually a video, not short. Dan, did you see that one?
I haven't seen it yet. Larry, I'll admit I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. That's about a 5-minute video. It's me cooking sausage and onions and peppers together in my grill.
Oh, that's great. That probably is doing very well on the views.
I've had better, but it's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah. The cooking and the frying thing that I've been concentrating on, I'm almost getting bored of doing it because it's too easy. I get up to 2.5K views and then, whatever happens, it all of a sudden it stops, stops right at 2.5K.
Oh, look at the cute little horse. A horse, of course.
Yeah, that's his neighbor's horse.
Yeah, the neighbor.
Yeah. Is it he or is she the horse?
It's a he.
There's the fence.
Oh, he's beautiful.
Yeah, he's got 3 horses.
Hey, something that's really interesting? I got a comment from one of my friends in Sacramento about the fried foods. Dan, you gotta eat a healthier diet. I was laughing, I was thinking about it and I was going, that's kind of strict. People in Louisiana, don't they eat fried food every day and they look healthy?
That's called soul food, comfort food.
Yeah, comfort food. That's what I'm all about. Yeah. I have gained a few pounds. I'm going to admit I gained probably about 10 pounds, but why worry about it? Really? Why worry about it? I'm retired, married for 20 some years. I'm inspired. I don't have to really impress anybody. So what the heck?
Way to go, Dan. This is for
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Applause.
Thank you.
I wish I was
welcome.
retired, but like I said, I can't go anywhere anyway. So
Oh, speaking of burgers and stuff, look what they gave me for Christmas this year for a Christmas mug.
man, that looked like a Burger King.
But what I'm curious about retro, if you don't,
Krabby Patty.
yeah, is it okay if I ask a question of retro here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure, go ahead.
Retro, how much did you pay for a Happy Meal in the McDonald's? That's what I'm curious about.
Like the mugs or the Happy Meal in general?
The Happy Meal in general. Did you pay extra for the mug, or was it part of the combo meal?
Oh
or how
no,
did they do that?
this came off of eBay, buds. These are old mugs.
Oh, they're old ones. They're old promos.
To be honest, this one was 11, and that's with shipping included. This one was 20.
I see. Okay,
Hey,
but
Robert.
have you been into a McDonald's lately?
Nah, I wish I could. I miss going there. I've seen the
Yeah, because people are
atmosphere.
telling me that a burger meal now is like $18. I'm hearing this from all over the place, and
Dude,
that
Dude,
people
the
are going
worst
into
of it-
McDonald's and they're empty. You know, people aren't going in there. You could still get a meal here in the Philippines for $6.
One of the main reasons people don't go to McDonald's anymore is those friggin' kiosks. I hate those things.
Oh, I hate them with a passion. You don't want to get me started talking about those things.
Literally, I'm a sociable guy. If I want to order a meal, I want to talk to the person, not just some AI computer. I'm all
You know
about
what would work?
the front
Hey.
line.
You know what? I got an idea that I'm a problem solver when it comes to stuff like that.
Okay, let's hear it. What's the solution here, Doc?
You make those things voice activated and you got everything solved, because all you'd have to do is go up there and say, I want a #1 Big Mac combo meal with a large Coke. Done.
None of this touch.
None of this pushing all these buttons.
I'm sorry, folks, but I have trouble with voice recognition stuff. They always want to change what I say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. They'll be like, you're banned from McDonald's for the rest of your life, Larry. They would be like, you're banned. We don't sell that here. You got to go down the street to Figueroa Street in order to get that.
It's like the SpongeBob episode. We sell food here, sir.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, but I'll ask a question and they change one of the words. It's like, that's not what I asked.
You know something? Of course they would have to perfect the voice activation, just like they're still working on perfecting the Tesla self-driving cars.
Dude, I don't trust those
Listen,
things.
it probably is never going to happen.
I don't
they gotta
trust
perfect
those things. I'm
the
sorry.
delivery system for electricity. Did you hear about Chicago?
Chicago.
Yeah,
What?
during the winter.
No.
The charging stations were like junkyards. Nobody could charge their car because the batteries wouldn't charge because it was too cold.
Oh no, that's terrible.
Push
What are you going to do with a
Chicago.
Tesla if you can't charge it up? What are you going to do with it? It's just a very expensive paperweight, you know?
Yeah.
To hump the junk down the street and onto the trash market.
That's terrible.
That's my New Englander talking right now.
They were they had that on the news, showing in Chicago that we lost Jerry.
Oh, Jerry, the chickens. I'm sorry I came in late, but what caught my attention is I wanted to see the chickens.
He showed them.
Honestly, I gotta say it. I gotta say the famous quote that's from one of the greatest cartoons in the 1990s/1980s. Biker Mice from Mars. I just gotta say it. That's
why they call you retro.
Look, Chicago. I love that band, by the way.
Oh, so do I. Absolutely.
Love me tomorrow, Dave and Dan and Larry. Just no homo, okay?
But I have to agree with Mike. He says Tesla cars are crap. $50,000 to replace batteries.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but no.
I don't know if they're $50,000, but I know the batteries cost way too much.
Yeah, so Robert is saying that McDonald's is bad for you Well, you know.
Rock and roll McDonald's, you turn to a blimp, you roll down the street.
Yeah, but Mike was saying also, Michael.
Okay, Jerry says chickens are getting ready to go to bed. He says,
Oh.
they're going to go inside, getting cold.
Oh, it's getting cold in Texas. Hey, I hear it's getting it's heating up right there at the border, though. It might be cold, but it's heating up at the border.
Yeah, it is.
No,
But
you know,
like
I
I
could
told
use
Jerry was saying it was in the 60s. That was cold. For Jerry, that's cold.
Good
I
God.
said, Jerry, it's 40 today. It's warm.
I was naughty today, guys, or tonight. I ate a what is this? A PO2 peanut butter chocolate cake for dinner tonight.
Yummy. That's the
was
way
not-
to enjoy life right there. That's the way to
I
enjoy
was
it.
naughty. I was gonna have cereal with it, but then I got full and didn't even pour myself a
I was bad.
bowl of cereal.
I had mozzarella sticks.
But I have a solution for everything, just like the menu at McDonald's and how you can improve that and make it work. I have another idea for Tesla, right? Listen, I'm a marketing genius today. I'm absolutely a marketing genius.
Do it up.
Okay, here it is. All you have to do is do another Back to the Future movie, and this time use a Tesla Cybertruck, and you will boost sales like crazy. Is Doc still alive?
What's his name? Christopher Lloyd? Yeah, he's still alive.
Well, he can do another Back to the Future movie. It would be a swan song.
You know something? I wanted to tell you guys something because my other YouTube buddy Zork told me this. Christopher Lloyd is part of a Star Trek fan club that I'm currently a part of. It's called Klingon Assault Group, otherwise known as CAG. And Christopher Lloyd is part of that fan club as well as me. I'm labeled as a Vulcan Klingon hybrid.
Wow. What movie? Wait, now, what movie was which one of the movies was Christopher Lloyd in?
I don't think
He was in one of the movies, right?
I don't know if he was.
You mean Star Trek movies? I think he was. He was Klingon in one of the movies, wasn't he?
Was he Klingon? That's what I'm trying. I can't remember.
I know he's
movies.
a Klingon. I know he's a Klingon in Klingon Assault Group, the fan club. But I actually don't know. But the guy who played George Costanza was definitely a character in Star Trek.
Oh yeah, he was in Voyager.
Yeah.
Oh, he was in Voyager. There you go. Now, Mike here is saying that
the guy that played
George Costanza in
was in
Seinfeld.
Voyager. He played this alien that was ran a think tank group that was a bunch of geniuses, and they wanted to still force Voyager to give up 7
Hold
of
on.
9.
We're talking Star Trek? Hold on. Wait here.
He tried to force them to give up 7 of 9.
Cue the music, Retro. Cue the music.
I have Star Trek trading cards right here.
Oh, that's cool. That's
I
totally
have
and completely retro.
I had this Nichelle Nichols card, but I gave it to my housemate.
Wow.
I used to have Neo.
That's generous. That card's got to be a valuable card.
Oh,
I
he's
used
the
to have a
collector.
couple
So
of the,
give it to him.
Burger King gave out
Yeah.
some glasses with some of the characters from the movie Starfleet, the first one with Chris Pine. I had Chris Pine, and I had.
Did you guys know that Chris Pine can sing?
But anyway, I had a couple of the characters, and a girl I was living with at the time opened it. I had in the boxes unopened. She opened them up, took them out, and washed them, and put them on the shelf without talking to me. I was wanting to save them and just as a collector's item, you know.
Yeah.
That didn't happen, and they ended up getting broke.
Hey, I don't have the case with me right now. It's over on the shelf, but I did buy something for Star Wars Day recently off of eBay.
Yeah.
Star Wars Battlefront, the PC game. I have 2 Star Wars games for PC that I currently will be playing on Star Wars month.
I like
Lego
Star Wars and Star Trek both. If I had to choose between,
I'm not a fan.
I'd be a
Well,
Trekkie.
I just do it because Star Wars is the only one I know.
I'm not a
about.
fan.
Of which one? Or both?
None of them.
All right.
Well, I actually play Star Wars because a lot of my fan base likes Star Wars, and I do it for the fans, not for
Gay, how
myself.
you doing, Ben Gay?
Man
It
Gay,
doesn't
how
mean
you
though I
doing?
can't get caught up though on what's
Oh,
going
yeah.
on. I could start over and watch the series from the very beginning.
I currently
How
own a
about
game.
Battlestar
Oh, sorry,
Galactica? Anybody into that?
Yeah, I
love
liked it. I
Battlestar
liked it.
Galactica.
You know they're coming out with another remake.
No,
What?
but
They're talking about another remake of Battlestar Galactica.
it
You gotta
makes
be kidding
sense
me.
because they want to lull everybody into a state of numbness. As a matter of fact,
Nostalgia.
Robert just brought something up in the comments. Is part of the subject matter that I'll be talking about on my new channel. He's talking about electric cars, and California, not only California, but other states are doing this. It is ridiculous. So I caught wind of this about 3 or 4 years ago when we were selling our house in Sacramento. The salesperson for the central air and heat that I was replacing said that they're going to incentivize you if you go all electric. And right there, I smelled a rat. I go, why would they want me to go all electric when natural gas is cheaper? So guess what? Nationwide, they're starting to shut down the natural gas refineries.
That's what they're trying to do. Yeah.
And they're trying to make everybody go all electric. And as Robert points out, how would that be possible when the grid can't even support itself now? That's the kind of stuff I'll be talking about on my new channel, which will be going live soon and targeting people that live in the United States to make them aware that they're about ready to get bent over.
Oh yeah. Like I
I'm
said,
sorry, but electric slide, anyone? Does this remind anyone of the electric slide? Is that running gas? Nah, baby, that's electric.
Is that motorized and electrified?
I don't know about electrified, but I'm about to get electrified.
But yeah, I mean, you know, they just don't have the grid. They have to they don't have enough electricity to power all the cars and everything else.
I don't know about that, Larry, but all you need is grit, spit, and a whole lot of duct tape.
Mike is bringing up Des's daughter who needs money for her medical treatment. You know, the thing is that I don't know if you know it, Mike, but Nitban and Tim Desiak came together, and they made a donation to Des's daughter for medical. So I was happy to forward that donation to him. After Nitman won the contest the other night, he won the draw, and then he gave Tim the honors of allocating the funds or directing the funds about where they would go. And Tim chose Des's daughter. So I want to publicly thank both of them because we were able to send that 500 peso win over to Des right away.
Awesome.
Hey, Bruce.
Hey, Larry.
Hey, Bruce.
Just a second, man. I got somebody at the door. Just a second.
All right.
Take your time, Bruce.
Hey, don't buy those encyclopedias. Don't buy them encyclopedias. You can get them online for free.
Yeah, that's a fact.
In the app. Yeah.
It's like why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?
Exactly.
But
I
got my milk in the fridge and I didn't get that for free.
So the other thing we'll be talking about is I know most of you guys would probably agree that we went awfully fast on this electrical thing, taking it a little bit further. We moved awfully fast from going from gasoline straight to electric car, and then we bypassed the Toyota Prius, one of the finest vehicles ever made. They zoomed right by it. But here's Toyota selling a bazillion of the Prius cars, and everybody else is sitting there like a birds on a branch, just tweeting away, but not selling any cars. I mean, it's amazing.
All right,
the hybrid car, the Camry, and the Prius, best cars ever built on the entire planet, as far as I'm concerned.
Hold on a minute, guys. Mike just asked about Ed. He's talking about Big Mac Daddy, I'm sure. I talked to Big Mac Daddy a little over a week ago online. He said he's having trouble seeing right now, so that's why he's not been in. He can't read the chats. So I don't think he's had his surgery yet, but he's trying to get his surgery for his cataracts. But that's why he hasn't been in. He cannot see very well at all. He says right now he's legally blind. and so he can't read the chat. So that's why he's not been here. I told him people was asking about him. So
Well, if he shows up, we'll read it to him.
yeah, I don't know if he's even listening. I don't know if he's in the background or not. If he is, he can come up. We'll talk to him.
Hey, is Ed Denoy in here? Or
I haven't seen Ed today. He comes in once in a while, but I haven't seen him.
Dan, you know my adopted brother who lives here with me has a Prius.
How does he like it?
He likes it. It runs well. I like riding in it.
Oh, Larry knows this. In here, Jerry's missing Ed. He's mentioning Ed Lippiette, and I saw him. He's still around. I saw him in one of the live streams that I visit occasionally.
Okay, so Ed Lippette's still doing well.
So he's still around.
Pig farmer.
Yeah.
I wonder if he's still selling the pigs.
I don't know, but he said hello from the Philippines, and I said hello, Ed, and he didn't answer me back, but he was only in there for a minute.
Bruce,
he likes to watch. He's like me. He likes to watch the live cop shows, the ones from Bakersfield, Sacramento, and of course Los Angeles. He likes watching people and accidents, getting their heads decapitated, just like me.
Good God,
welcome back, Bruce.
Hey, Larry. What's going on, Dan?
Los Angeles, City of Angels.
Bruce, how are you?
I'm good.
Bruce, what's up, guy? I'm Retro, by the way. I don't think we met.
Hey, Retro, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm from New England, by the way. In case you don't know,
from England?
I'm from New England. I got my new refill mug recently.
All right.
This is my Retro McDonald's refill mug, Bruce, brother. This is my old one, but they scratched
What part of England are you from?
New England.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Did
from
you hear about that piano guy on YouTube?
I'm from New Hampshire.
Oh, New Hampshire.
New Hampshire.
Ah.
New Hampshire.
Man, everywhere I go, man.
Hello, Rona.
Everywhere I go, man.
Pack the cat, have it yet.
No, I can do the foot. Hold on. Pack the cat, have it yet. Give the man a quarter. Go and get a hot dog. Go out to Sorks and get yourself
a hot dog.
Now, Robert says the best electric truck is the Ford 150.
Go ahead, Larry.
Robert says the best electric truck is a Ford 150. They say you can power your house with it if your power goes out.
Oh, that's very sweet of you. Very generous of you, Mike. I'm sure she really appreciates that.
I got a question related to cars. We all talking cars here. What do you guys think about these new Jeep trucks? Honest opinion right now.
I don't know about the Jeep trucks. I'm not a fan of a Jeep to begin with. I think they're overpriced. You're paying for the name. That's my personal opinion.
My mom just posted on Facebook.
Hi, Jerry.
Hello, Jerry. My mom just posted on Facebook Marketplace here in New Hampshire the Jeep Grand Cherokee in the back of my aunt's apartment complex. Mom was holding on to our Jeep Grand Cherokee that we had for years, and my mom's gonna sell it for parts.
Sister likes.
Yeah, for yes.
We're talking
my little
probably
sister
about 5 years.
But I'm not a Jeep fan.
Yeah, I don't drive, so I don't know nothing about cars. That's my mother's deal.
I have a.
The one thing you should know is don't get involved with cars. They will bleed you dry.
Yeah, I don't.
Just get a tuk-tuk and drive around.
That's what I'm saying. Electric little car. If you just need to go to the 7-Eleven, 7-Elevens are everywhere. If you can't walk, get one of those little electric vehicles things.
You know, it's funny, Dan. I called my grandmother at the exact time 7-Eleven.
Beautiful. That's the way to do it.
7-Eleven.
You call 7-Eleven because that's when you call.
Yeah, because I called her. I says, you know what time I just called you at, right? She 7-Eleven. I'm like, yep, 7-Eleven. Where's my slushie? Well, they call it Slurpees there, but Cumbies here.
We don't have Slurpees here in the Philippines. I don't know why. People would buy them up if they had them here.
Yeah, isn't it like humid there?
Yeah, we got soft serve here though, right? We got the what do they call that purple ice cream?
like that purple
Blueberry,
ice cream,
something like that. Blackberry.
That's
ice cream.
disgusting, right? It's made out of a potato, a root product. That's the
Yeah.
Philippines for
Turnip
you. That'll
ice
make you
cream?
love the Philippines.
Turnip ice
Hey, if it
cream?
tastes
Is
good,
that
I'll
what
eat
it's
it.
called?
Come on, Dan. There's other good stuff that's out there, you know.
Yeah. But when you get desperate though for ice cream, what do you do though? That's the thing, Bruce. What do you do when you get desperate for real ice cream and you can't find it? They don't have Cold Stones here in the Philippines.
I'm
No, I
gonna
know.
tell you this one.
I
What
understand.
about
Dan, I'm
McDonald's?
about to
Do
drop
they
a
at least have the
retro
same kind of
ball.
fake ice cream as we have here?
What's that, Larry?
Dan, I'm
Like
about
at
to drop a
McDonald's,
retro
do they have the same
ball
kind of
on
fake
a
ice cream
Bruce
there
phone.
as they have here at McDonald's? Because I don't call that
So-
real ice cream either.
Soft serve as you at McDonald's or Jollibee is the closest you could get to it.
Well,
Pit,
what about-
what? You have Pitball. Is that
Hey.
Sega?
No, it's Atari 2600. I have the Atari 2600.
Oh, it's Atari. Dang.
what
working
about Dairy
system.
Queens? They got Dairy Queens in Cebu.
I have a working Atari system.
Love the Dairy Queen.
Oh,
I want
love
to own a Dairy
Queen.
Queen franchise.
I
Oh,
wish
love
that-
Dairy Queen is great. That's the best ice cream.
Wow.
Hey, I'll
Wait,
tell you
wait,
though,
wait.
you've seen me post the videos on the shorts of the ice cream vendor that's
Yeah,
at the terminal in Bye Bye City.
yeah.
She is great, and that is the greatest ice cream, and she gets the biggest smile on her face when she sees me coming because she knows I'm there for.
Ice cream.
Yep, a soft serve vanilla. She'll always have it on there. She'll always have that in the freezer ready to go.
Don't they-
But what's
don't they
going
serve,
on? You say ice cream
Remember
and
how we used to
she
say it as
smiles.
kids?
I'm a little bit confused. No offense.
Well, as a kid, Retro, here's something for you as kids. At least we did where I'm from. We go ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
Yes, I
Right.
remember that, brother.
Hey, didn't you remember, Larry? Didn't you mention in one of the comments on one of my ice cream videos when she was making up the soft serve, you were hearing the ice cream truck in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah, I dubbed that in because that reminds me of my youth. And so every time I do something, it reminds me of my youth. I dub in the ice cream music.
By the way, you want to talk New England and stuff? Our ice cream man comes by, but he ain't the nicest fellow.
Well,
Why is he in the business if he doesn't have a smile on his face?
No, he ain't the nicest fellow. No, our ice cream man is the worst. He is the crankiest.
He must be an old cranky dude like me. Get off my lawn!
Typically,
Get off my gravel!
he's typically the
Get away from my
crankiest
truck.
ice
I'm
cream
not
man I've
fucking
ever
with you.
seen.
He's
No,
gonna
ice
get
cream, get out
cranky
here.
and mad.
Yeah. Bruce, can you imagine that? An ice cream guy who doesn't love kids?
Dude, I literally
like
went in
Santa
the
Claus
house
like
to
this
get
kid,
five.
That's just awful, man. What's the point? What is the point of
What is the point? Hey, you're taking too long making your selection. You see all those kids are waiting behind you.
I literally went inside the house to grab a $5 bill. And I was only buying one ice cream. I was going to donate to him. He still got mad at me.
Well, I'll tell you one thing that I do know that's true is the kids there, Dan, where you're at and stuff like that. They're a little bit more respectful than they are here in the U.S.
I
That's
agree.
true facts.
They're beautiful, but they're changing, but they're not changing very fast, thank God.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you did
And I'm
some
not putting
man.
down. There's good kids in America, but you know what? When they
Really?
tell
Where are they?
their parents-
I haven't seen any.
when they tell
Dan,
their
I'm
parents,
still
no, you're
considered
not
a
doing
kid
that
kid,
over
man.
there.
I'm a
If you
good
do,
kid.
you know what's going to happen to you. They're not going to play around over there, man. They'll smack one of their kids, man. Like,
Oh, you don't have to.
Man,
You don't
they'll
have to
straighten
be
them up.
related in order to smack a kid here in the Philippines.
Oh yeah,
just-
yeah. Like you better.
Yeah, you
not,
just-
Yeah.
But it never reaches, as Bruce, as you're pointing out, it never reaches the point where that has to be done because all
Yeah,
you
it
do is
doesn't.
give them the stink-eyed stare down and they're done.
Yeah.
By the way-
I've had my fair share, like when Muggs and Tim's and stuff, years back, like single mothers and stuff with kids, man, like I always like try to pitch in and try to help them. I mean, because it's like, I understand, I get it, but I ain't saving the world, man. I'll tell you that.
By the way, about
I can't
the
feel
ice cream
sorry.
man being cranky
I
and all
can't
that.
feel
you
sorry
did
for
some-
everybody, man, but you know what? Muggs was my friend, and she had a lot of people, man, that were living in disaster places with babies. And I'm sorry, man. Like, I'll take money out of my pocket and help somebody, man. Even if I don't care if I don't know them, because I know they're gonna feed their kids. They're gonna have rice,
Always,
and
brother.
that's all that
Always.
matters.
They will
Yeah.
always use it for the right thing. They always will.
Yeah, I always give the kids in this neighborhood toys. Every year for Christmas, I go around and shop at thrift stores for the best quality retro toys. I give it to my neighborhood kids.
Mike,
Like,
I did not know. I did not know that was going on in Canada as well. But
Really?
apparently, it's not going on in New Hampshire because Retro is saying they got good kids in his neighborhood.
well, yeah, I give the neighborhood kids toys because
Well, nobody lives in New Hampshire though. Retro, what about that?
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Mike. It's yogurt, not ice.
Hey, I drove through. Listen, I drove through New Hampshire a couple of times, right? Doing the fall thing, coming up through the New Hampshire and Vermont, doing that whole silly thing, right? In the mountains.
The leaves change color.
Yeah, to watch the leaves change.
Bruce.
Nobody lives there.
I wonder where Bruce went.
I think you lost internet.
Bruce, come back. Bruce, come back.
And then, let me
Yeah.
tell you something. You come to my part of New Hampshire, you'll see a bunch of homeless people.
Well, yeah. So Mike's right.
See that in a lot of places, man.
The schools still discipline children in the Philippines, and I'm not sure that has a lot to do with it, but I haven't heard of any kids getting beaten lately around here, but it happens.
Dad, did you hear about the cave people in California?
Say it again.
Did you hear about the cave people in California?
Cave people?
Yeah, of course. That's my neighborhood.
Well, what happened was
I almost moved into a cave. I was gonna put in hot and cold running water.
they found some caves that these people had dug out. They had beds down there and stuff. They were living down there. Some of them even took electricity down there somehow. Got electricity into them. These were homeless people that were living underground and close to
They're smarter than you and I could tell you that.
Well, the California government, when they kicked them out, made them move out on the street.
I thought I was
they should have taken them to court. The court would have upheld their right to live there.
But,
honestly, I'm just a gentle giant. I wouldn't call myself a caveman. I'm just a giant that lives in my man cave.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear that, Bruce. I didn't boot you out. Bruce said damn StreamYard booted him.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
Hey, but Retro, that's the way that you need to be living these days. I'm telling you, the thing that I see coming in housing in the States, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be very ugly.
It's going to get real ugly.
And I will be talking about it on my channel.
Oh,
my
let
new
me tell you
channel.
something. Let me stop right there.
You know
I actually
exactly
just
why I
heard from
want to leave here.
I
You
just
know why I
heard from
wanna
my
move
grandmother.
out of this country.
I just heard from my grandmother that she's going to try to inherit our great grandmother's property. And this is a house up in Richmond, Maine. Now, may I remind you, there is tax in Maine, and the tax there sucks amongst anywhere else in New England, other than New Hampshire, because New Hampshire doesn't have sales tax. Anyway, I'm kind of looking forward to moving back with my family and going to Maine, but I'm kind of not, because I actually don't miss the tax.
Oh, yeah,
Come on. $1 candy bar with a $2 tax? Come on now. But there is a place in Maine, if I remember off the top of my head, called Caswell's. Anyone remember? I don't know if it's anywhere else is what I'm asking. There's a place called Caswell's where they sell stuff that's been discontinued off the shelves, and it goes to this place called Caswell's. And they sell all this good stuff for discount prices, even with the tax.
Sounds familiar to me. Sounds familiar.
And like, even in the tax prices, it's really good prices.
Well,
my mother and I used to go there to buy yo-yos because boy, could I sling a yo-yo back in my day. of
Back
being
alley, I'm going to
child
tell you the housing crisis here in the U.S. is already here in some places.
It's already here, bro.
Well,
It's
he's in
already here.
Canada. He says it's going there, but it's already here in the U.S.
But
It's
you
already
have figured it out. You figured it out. You know, that's the way I'd be doing it if I were back in the States. It's pointless, or I would be buying a house and paying cash for it so they don't have any holds on me in the most undesirable place in the entire United States. That's probably where Larry's living.
Well, you do my
Sorry,
neighbor.
Larry.
You do my neighbor, Dan.
Yeah, it's awfully cold.
Yeah, it is.
Speaking of cold, I wanted to tell you guys something.
Hey, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
I
I mean
know.
that's a
Actually, the
fact.
most undesirable place if you're going to be in the States is northern, like Buffalo, Rochester, if you're going to be in New York.
That's where I'd be. That's where I'd be living. I'd be living in upstate New York. I'd be living in Syracuse or Buffalo,
my,
or I'd be living in Michigan.
Syracuse is still desirable compared to those places, although Syracuse
That's where
does get
one
a
of
lot
my
of
viewers
snow.
is from, upstate New York.
Detroit.
Upstate New York is where a friend of mine named Dale is from. He used to be a viewer on my channel, but he's gotten kind of busy.
Well, Tim Dizak, he's from Buffalo area.
Yeah.
I lived in Rochester, New York for a while, Rochester area. I didn't actually live in Rochester itself. But I lived in that
I'd never
area.
admit that to anybody.
I lived there for
I live in
almost,
Rochester,
almost
New Hampshire.
25 years.
Come to my
down here, and we get a lot less snow.
But hey, I'm confessing that's where I would be living because the affordability factor is there, and so when you're retired, things change for you a little bit, and you're more flexible because you have your retirement money, and so you can go pretty much wherever you want. You don't have to worry about jobs.
come to my town. The birds stop chirping.
Mike's talking about Canada and Australia lowering immigration numbers because of housing. We already have a housing problem. They're still trying to get all these illegal immigrants in here. I'm all for immigration. Don't give me my best friends from Canada. I mean, not Canada. Listen to me. From China.
Us.
And I know our whole family. They all came over. They came legally.
No, I dated a
Like I said,
Taiwanese
I
girl
really
once.
didn't care much about immigration at all until 9/11. To tell you the truth, that's when I started caring. We want to know who's coming in. That's
I
all
dated
wanna know. Who's coming in and why are they coming? And if they got legitimate reason, God bless it. I don't care if they're well educated or not. Let them in if they're going to help us out. But let's don't just let people come in and then we'll decide in 10 years. No. I want to know before they come in.
Yeah.
You know, this catch and release bullshit is crazy. I mean, we have last in December alone, we had over 300,000 illegal immigrants cross the southern border. And then they had another, I don't know how many thousand gotaways that they never did. Plus, then there's those that they don't even know about.
Yeah, the whole thing about America, it isn't that old of a country. And you know what I start thinking about? We're very young, and so you start thinking about, man, could what happened in the former Soviet Union actually happen in the United States? And
hey, Tim,
I believe it can happen. There's a possibility that the states could go on their own.
Well, you know, Texas is refusing to take down the barbed wire.
Well, Texas is, in my opinion, they're going about it the wrong way. The court, it was a temporary injunction, and the whole thing was that they say don't use barbed wire, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, but anyway, 25.
You switch it up a little bit and let them take you to court again. So instead of using barbed wire, you abide by the court's order, and then you bring in those containers that are stacking up at all the ports, and you start stacking them as high as you can.
They had containers and they were climbing over them.
Really? Tall
they had containers down on part of the southern border. And they climbed over them.
Good cripes.
And the Border Patrol agents were cutting the barbed wire and letting them in. So they just closed off this one part. Texas has, I forget how, there's a whole lot of legal places to enter. They got those legal port of entries. All they're closing down is where they're not legal port of entries. They're just saying, go in the port of entry. Come in that way. Because they're coming in, they're crossing people's lands, sometimes dying on these people's lands, trashing the place, people that own the property are afraid to go out on their own property at night because of all the illegal immigrants crossing through there.
My answer is get big, vicious dogs
But I'm just saying, though,
and let them roam free.
But I'm just saying, though, they're.
Well, I don't know about big vicious dogs in my neighborhood. The biggest dogs we have in my neighborhood are 2 German shepherds, and it's up by my friend's neighborhood house, and they're 2 sweetheart dogs. One of them's a rowdy one. One's a little mellow old
Well,
one.
you know, you're mitigating it, Mike. There's no perfect solution, obviously, but Mike, the whole thing is that you're slowing them down.
And like I said,
Grandma is not going to be able to climb over the container, and a young child is not going to make it either.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, Texas is not saying don't come in. They're saying don't come in where you're not supposed to.
Well, exactly. And who doesn't agree with that ideology?
They got
I
at least
agree.
a dozen port of entries in Texas where they can come in legally. At least a dozen, probably more.
Wow, this is the kind of stuff I'll be talking about on my new channel, and so I can hardly wait to get it up and running.
But I'm just saying, they got all these things going, and it's going that way.
Dan and Larry, I also wanted to tell you guys today's Cereal Bowl chat was a success. It was well put out there.
All right, that's good.
That's great.
I had fun. I had fun with my Cereal Bowl chat, and then afterwards, I had a Let's Chat podcast later in the day. Awesome, wholesome people joined the chat. It was awesome.
No, but safety is a concern, Tim. So you can't really. I mean, it's easy to say build a. What does my friend say? Oh yeah, build a new Suez Canal, but build it at the southern border. That's all fine and dandy, except that imports are down to like 45% of what they were last year. In other words, folks, think about this for a second. I just want you to entertain this, right? We're in the States, we're suffering terribly from inflation right now. So I want you to consider why would you double down on that by starting conflicts in the Red Sea? I just would like to ask that question. I mean, this should be absolute proof, or at least it should get you thinking that all this is scripted. In other words, all you need is for somebody to be able to say in the presidential selection process year, it's beyond my control. We're being challenged. The only thing that we can do is defend ourselves and defend our territory and defend commerce. But yet nobody is buying anything. So what are you protecting? In other words, what's out there that they're protecting, and the reason why? Because everybody knows that this is going to spurn even more inflation, but it also gives them a place to point the finger and saying, no, it's not me, it's them. It's not me, it's them. They attacked us. They provoked us. They attack our ships, our container ships that are bringing in all the stuff people aren't buying. They're not buying tires. They're not buying auto parts. They're not buying any of this crap. Imports were already down 45 and nearly 50%.
Well, a lot of that is because of the cost. Before this.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I said, the inflation.
It's inflation, and it's hyperinflation. In other words, it's inflation, and then they want to put insult to injury. They want to make sure they have a place to point where they could say, and I'm talking about the military-industrial complex, I'm talking about the people that run this country, whoever they may be. It's the man behind the curtain. It's not Biden. And I could tell you it's the Oz. They all live in the land of Oz. And all I could tell you is this is by design. It's not happening by accident.
We're talking about the super rich, the upper of the rich, the upper 1% of the rich.
It's basically.
Well, it's probably the upper 1/10 of 1%, Larry.
I'm saying of the rich, it's the upper 1%. But of all of us, it's the upper 1/10, if not even smaller.
There's always going to be, and so here's the other thing. Here's something that caught my attention. We'll be talking about more on my channel. It's also that it's usually the youth. It's usually the youth that impact social change, and the youth are sitting at home in mom and dad's basement.
Yeah.
I can't because I have mental disabilities and I have a lot wrong with me. Just
Yeah,
one.
we all do. Can't you tell? Can't you tell that there's stuff wrong with me?
No, like I have diagnosis on paper.
I've self-diagnosed just like every other kid in the entire United States.
Yeah, but I have a
Listen, remember, I was in the business before I retired. That was my business, right?
I feel you. This is I have a doctor's note.
You have to be crazy in order to do the job that I retired from. You have to be absolutely nuts.
What job are you at?
There's a medical term for you, retro.
What job are you doing? I actually am curious. If you don't mind me asking, there.
He works for the California government.
Yeah, I work for local government, and my job was, believe it or not, it was to get the homeless people trained and employed. So there you go.
Gotcha. I'm trying to do what I'm mostly qualified for, which is YouTube. That way I can actually make money and actually make something of myself.
Yes.
Because,
Trump isn't going to pay. There's a thing called bankruptcy, Mike, in our country. Listen, he'll appeal, and then when all the appeals run out, Mike, you file for bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is going to protect him from having to pay.
Well, it's either that, or if he wins the presidency, he'll just pardon himself.
Well, it's not criminal. It's not criminal. It's civil, and I'm not sure there's a provision for civil remedies. Yeah, all you really have to do is file for chapter. I think it's one of the bankruptcy codes.
Chapter 11 or something.
Chapter 11 or something like that. Yeah.
But the thing is, 89 million is not going to hurt him. He's a billionaire.
Well, if I were honestly, they're coming after him. So
he's not going to pay that money without fighting it.
No, he won't. He won't. And the other thing is, I don't see why. Honestly, I don't see why he just doesn't liquidate and then go on his merry way.
Yeah.
I think he wants to stick it to the people that got him defeated.
Of course. Of course. Yeah, of course. I'm all for it. I'm all for revenge.
I'm just saying that's why I think if he gets another term, because he won't be able to run again, he'll do whatever he can do, good or bad. He'll do whatever he can do, then he'll go away because he can't do anything else. He won't be qualified to be a vice president because the vice president has to be qualified to take over if something happens to the president. If he's done 8 years, he's done all he can do. He can't do anymore.
Yeah, Mike is pointing out in Canada, a family who wanted to go to the USA illegally all froze to death last winter, and so did the Donner Party when they were there. They were making their way over the pass coming into California. Many of them froze to death as well. Sacrifices will be made in order for you to live your dream and for that dream to become a reality.
Yeah.
Dan, Mike's asking a question. Do you think most people who are homeless don't want to be housed because of mental illness?
Yes.
Many of them, yes. Is either they don't want government control. Part of it's mental illness. They're afraid they'll have to.
Some of the homeless people that I have met are the most sane and intelligent people that have ever whose paths that I've ever crossed. I'm telling you, and so there's a misnomer because I worked with people. I had a guy that I was working with who was a graduate from MIT. So you tell me, all he is, he's living in reality. He's not living in a dream fantasy world. The reality is that he realizes that the fix is in. And so he goes, why do I want to be a participant in this garbage? I do not.
I'm going to tell you the truth. If I decided to be homeless in the U.S.,
lie to me, Larry.
I would go to Hawaii.
I count on you to lie to me.
All right. I'd go to Montana in the mountains. I'll lie to you there.
Honestly,
I would probably try to go to Hawaii.
you know what I'm thinking, boys? If it's possible, once I get my YouTube career up and running, once my Grim supposedly gets this property, I want to work my way to the top with money wise, and I want to buy a trailer, a camper. Well, you know what I mean.
You're my kind of guy.
And I want to
I'll
start
contribute.
start off living on the property at first, but then at some point just go to a campground that I have to pay rent.
Tim is saying, I made plenty of sacrifices in my Air Force career, and we appreciate that, Tim. But why didn't they? But Tim, you tell me, why didn't the military industrial complex make sacrifices also as opposed to profit? That's my point. That's my of course we have military personnel, like we have Larry, we have people who served honorably. But why is it that they charge double and triple money for bombs and things that we need in order to facilitate these conflicts, and they make huge profits? So are they any less or more patriotic than you are, my friend? Thank you for your service, Larry and Tim. I really mean it. This bugs the hell out of me.
Well, what bugs me about what's going on today when you want to talk about the military, you got these veterans who are homeless, and yet they're housing
a lot.
the illegals, and they're really not helping the homeless veterans as much. They really, that bugs me there.
You know what? Here's the thing.
That's the government that's doing that.
Yes, exactly. And why are they doing it? That's the question that we'll be talking about on my channel. Why are they doing it, Larry? This is one of the major things I want to talk about. Millions, if not billions of dollars have been thrown this way for veteran services. Why isn't the money trickling down to the vets that need it? I mean, it's an absolute, but yet they're sucking it up in administrative costs. I mean, it's outrageous behavior. You're going to hell. You people that are doing this, you're going to fry. You're going to cook in hell.
Well, I was at the VA today. I went.
Michael McFarland's having the same issues.
I went to see the dermatologist. I got the precancerous spots on my hands and a place on my forehead.
What were you having on your head there, Larry?
I got a place right here that's precancerous, and then I got them on my hand.
Okay. Are you okay though?
Oh yeah, they're all precancerous. I just had to go in and see the dermatologist. She orders a skin cream that I can put on my hands that'll kill the precancerous cells. Well,
Tim, Larry, it's okay for them to sacrifice your life and that of your kids for profit. It's just fine. It's okay to make you suffer, and make your contribution, because they're not the ones that are going to be harmed. They're going to be living in their penthouse apartment over there right across. They probably have a perfect view of the White House from where they live.
Well, like I said, to me, the VA has treated me well. All right. To me, I've heard of other people that hadn't done as well for mine. I have a friend. They say he makes too much money. He can't go in. My brother-in-law has trouble getting in. My older brother-in-law, he was Army. My friend I'm talking about back home, he was Marine. My cousin George, same thing. He made too much money. He was Army.
Speaking of the vet thing and housing, I think someone brought it up, right? So here's what goes on there. Here's what goes on there. They spend. You and I would not be able to afford a house for the amount of money that they spend renovating one 50 square meter apartment for a vet. Now, how is that? Why should it cost $50,000 for one tiny home that they go over to Home Depot and they order to place on land that belongs to the government in order to place a vet in it? How is that costing $50,000? And yet we have all these people that need to be housed. And they're spending $50,000 per unit.
Yeah, I hear that, Dan, because I have a friend that works at Home Depot and it shouldn't cost that much.
But anyway, I watch these YouTube videos on what they call tiny homes.
Yeah, I think it's
And
like a
they're nice
series.
homes, but man, they want some of those. They want over $100,000 for a tiny home.
Oh yeah,
Well,
it's luxury
the
before need.
profiteers are alive and well, and they're trying to convince. I know what's going on in California. 'Cause I could speak to that. And so what they're doing is they're convincing everybody, because these kids don't want to get married and have children. They're delaying having families, which is understandable in this economic climate. It makes perfectly good sense. But then they're convincing them that it's okay to live in a 25 square meter apartment. So what they're doing is all those commercial real estate buildings that have been abandoned in downtown Sacramento, they're converting them as quickly as possible into 25 to 50 square meter apartments. And then they're renting them to the 30-year-olds, and they're charging them $1,700 and $1,800 a month rent. And the people are like, oh, I need my own space. I really enjoy living here.
Dan, Larry, I gotta pop out, see if it'll load my game faster, because sometimes when I'm on live stream, it'll take longer to download. I just wanted to pop in and say hello, Dan.
Well,
it's good
we
to see you,
appreciate
my
you
friend.
coming.
We do. I'm sorry I chased you away, Retro.
Oh no, you didn't chase it away. It's just
Okay, thanks for saying that.
Wi-Fi sucks here, because every time I have something downloaded and I'm also on live stream, download takes extremely long.
Sure, we understand.
All I know is if I lived where Dan lives,
take care, Retro.
I would look
Bye,
at
guys.
getting-
May the retro be
Hey,
with
Love
you.
you, man.
See you
I would
later,
look at getting-
Percolators.
If I live where you're at, Dan, I would look at getting the
For the road,
Starlink,
guys.
I think it is.
For the road.
I can't do it.
Well, I just,
See, I got to bend it.
just do it bent. I don't care, as long as you can split your fingers.
Live
that's all that
long and
matters.
prosper.
Yep. For the road, guys. I love you guys. See you later.
All right, take care.
Bye.
But
Go ahead, Minnie. Drink. I can
are you
let
going
me
to
leave.
the Manila VA clinic there, Tim? Well, good luck. But
Hey Tim, do they post a list of the people who have died? When you go to the VA clinic, they put a list up there it's in memoriam and immemorial, and then they list all the people who have passed away. I'm wondering how long it will take. I wonder how long the Manila clinic. It's very, very unique, because the Manila Vet Clinic is I think it's one of the only ones that they've located in a foreign country because of the history of the Philippines and the United States.
Actually, at one time, it was a full-fledged hospital.
That's right. That's right. And we should. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, and it was done, like you said, because of the history. We had a lot of Filipinos that fought with the Americans in World War II. A lot of Filipinos served in the U.S. services after World War II. I mentioned it before. When I was in the Navy, about 1/3 of my division, the guys I worked with, were Filipinos. I was in the service-related field, and a couple of my bosses were Filipinos. So, I mean, it's just, there was a lot of Filipinos that served, and they served for a couple different reasons. The ones I knew of, anyway. One guy I knew was doing it because it was the quickest way to get your citizenship. You do about 6 years and you get a U.S. citizenship with no trouble whatsoever by being in the military. And some of the other guys that I knew, what they were doing was they were doing a career, get their 20 years in, or however many years they were going to do. It had to be at least 20 if they wanted to retire, but they could go up to 30, then go back home to the Philippines and live like kings, because they'd have so much more money coming in than the normal Filipino. They wouldn't have to work again unless they wanted to. A lot of businesses in Subic Bay and probably in Clark and Angeles City were started by retired military people. A lot of the taxi service on the Subic Bay base was owned by a Filipino who was a retired Navy.
Right. And so now Tim would say, yeah, Tim, he's reminding us it's not a hospital, only a clinic. It is the only VA clinic outside the United States. Yeah. Well said. And so now, but also what caught my attention, Larry, I don't know if you noticed, but if you go into Intramuros, you'll see in Intramuros, you'll see American Hospital. There's a building there. you know how they're preserving the historical district in Intramuros here in the Philippines of Manila. And so you'll see a sign, and maybe Tim knows about that, where it says American Hospital. And I'm curious as to what that is all about.
Well, like I said, one time, maybe it was during the war, right after the war, but at one time there was an actual military hospital there.
I wonder if that was the military hospital. You would think it would be at Subic or Clark or somewhere else.
Well, no, Manila, they had a lot of service people in Manila as well. You got to remember, they weren't just servicing the American servicemen, but also the Filipino servicemen, the ones that served in American forces or fought with the Americans, the Filipino armies that fought with
Old Fart is in the house.
Hey, Scott, how you doing, man? Old Fart is Scott.
Commemoration.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't know if you know Old Fart's real name is Scott.
Hi, Scott.
He's oh, wait a minute. You don't have a jacket. Sorry,
You know,
Scott.
I've been running into Scott too all over the place. Scott gets around. As a matter of fact, if I recall, I'm not sure. I'm going to ask him. Scott, do you not go into those live streams, those cop live streams where the streamers are following around the police calls for service?
Oh,
I think that is either you or it's somebody that has a similar name.
And Dan, great fart, Dan. He says.
Oh, thank you. I enjoy farting.
Yeah, Mike, the American Cemetery in the Philippines is in Manila downtown. I want to see that. So I will go to Manila at least once. I want to see the cemetery. I really want to go to there. I think it's in Leyte that the marker 44 is at, which is where they have the statue of MacArthur coming ashore. I believe that's in Leyte. I'd like to see that. Leyte is an area I would think about living. That wouldn't be in Bye-Bye. It would be in Ormark, or what's that other big city? Tabla. Ormark is one because of the hospital. It's supposed to have a good hospital. And Tablagon or whatever that other city is supposed to have a decent hospital. Tagbilaran, or however you pronounce it.
Tagbilaran?
Yeah. It's in Leyte. That would be another place because they got supposed to have a really nice hospital there.
Tagbilaran was in Bohol.
No, there was one in Leyte. I can't remember it. But they're supposed.
Well, we're going to head over. We're going to be there. I finally get to visit the MacArthur exhibit on February 29th. So when we get back from Thailand, we have to quickly make our way down to back from Cebu to Bye-Bye, so we could head over to Tacloban. Tim, you need to get over to Intramuros and take a look around. It's fascinating.
Like I said, I do want to get over there to see those two things. Like I said, I mean, when I was there, I did see some of the caves, bomb shelters, I should say. They weren't caves. They're close to Subic Bay. But I didn't really go because they had them closed off, but you could go up and see them. I didn't go in. And well, they're there, Mike. You just have to know where to go. Like I said, marker 44 in Leyte, they have a statue of MacArthur coming ashore. Then there's the U.S. American Cemetery now. That's not just U.S. people buried there. It's servicemen that is Jewish and Christians. They're all buried together. They're Filipino, Americans, Canadians, Australians, and they're all listed by what branch they served in when they died. They have this kind of like memorial like circle that you can go in, and they're listed by the branch alphabetical order and when they died, what unit they were with. You can find there's a YouTuber called Marker 44. He did one on it. Steve from Phil Expect Info Channel. He did a video on that American Cemetery. From my understanding, his wasn't as good as Marker 44's. I haven't seen Marker 44's, but it was good enough that it made me. I know I want to go see it. It's a place I do want to see. They keep it really clean. It's well laid out.
You know, I think that I didn't know it was there, and so we're going to be in Manila on the 3rd and I think the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, and so
Yeah.
that's in a few days, and so we'll head over there. We'll take a look see.
It's there. It's they got it. I mean, you go inside the monument part where they got all the names listed. Gorgeous job they did there. It's like in marble. Then there's and they got, like I said, they got each person's name, the date. I believe the date they died. And all that, and what branch they were in, and all that good stuff.
The other thing we need to do also is in Thailand. We want to go over. We want to do the bridge over the River Kwai.
Oh, okay, I can understand that. That was one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, it was one of, and so I'm not sure if I'm going to be whistling or playing the music in the background, but yeah, it's all it's a must do.
Yeah. I used to be able to whistle better, but yep.
Yeah. Anyway, it'll be fun.
Yeah. If I go to Thailand, that would be something I would like to see.
Yeah.
Like I said, and then also in the Philippines, in Valencia area, there is a World War II museum that's operated by a guy that went out and found all that stuff, bombs, hand grenades, rifles, swords, and he's got a little roadside museum.
That's a great idea, old fart. Yeah.
What's that?
To do a short video. Yeah, that's perfect. I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Really.
Yeah. As you're going.
I don't know how short you're going to be able to do it if you want to show the rows and rows. And I mean, it is well laid out. And then you got to, like I said, the Jewish people have the Star of David for their headstones and stuff like that.
Beautiful.
So
beautiful.
If you've never seen it, you will find it fascinating. So, like I said, it's something I really do want to see. And it's right in Manila. It's right around either BGC or Makati. It's right in that area there.
Oh, by the way, if you're in Thailand at the same time that, because, it is Chinese New Year, so a lot of people will be pouring into Thailand, into Bangkok and Pattaya and parts known and unknown. But if you're there, we're going to be hanging around Sukhumvit 22. So we'll be there probably near, you'll probably find me up there. You'll find Manmini and I up there at Terminal 21 Food Court. In case you guys want to come up and say hello, that's most likely where I'll be 99.9% of the time. Or I'll be making my way up and down Sukhumvit Road, just hanging out. So, one of the things I've been trying not to do is to go into Mark Wien's restaurant at Ikamai, at the Ikamai BTS station, because I don't want to be like everybody else. But I am successful at not being like everybody else.
There you go. I don't know if it's the year of the dragon or not. My birth year, if you go by the Chinese calendar, is the year of the snake. I was born in 53, so 65, 77, 89, 2001, 2000. So that would be next year, 2025, I believe, would be the next year of the snake.
Wow, the year of the dragon would be cool. What is it? What is it? Is it the year of the dragon?
He thinks it is. Hang on a minute.
Can you imagine the dragon dances that are going to be going on all over town?
What year is this Chinese New Year? Year of the Dragon.
Wow, man, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm so excited now, old fart. I can't believe it.
What is the next year of the snake?
Yeah.
And I was right.
We'll be hanging around Sukhumvit 22, and then you'll find me in the evening times at the Stagger Inn in Nana, or at the McDonald's right there. The McDonald's that's close by.
Robert Mindanao here. Robert, come on up, buddy. Robert Mindanao is on his way back to the Philippines on Monday with his wife and kids.
Wonderful.
And he promises to do some more videos. He's going to do a video of his flight back. And he's going to do some videos when he gets back. Now, Robert has not very many followers. So if anybody's interested, go ahead and follow Robert Mendenau. He's a pretty good guy. I don't know if he'll come up or not. He's been up before when he was in Dumagetti. Dumagetti came on. But so we just want to welcome Robert Mendenau back, and we're glad he's here. And we're wishing him a safe trip on Monday. And I bet you.
Where's he coming? Where's he coming in from?
Florida.
Where's he flying from? Portland?
No, Florida.
Ah.
He has a condo in Florida. They remember that last really big.
So is he going Florida? Is he going Florida to New York to London or the Middle East?
He's flying out of Fort Myers. Robert, come on up, buddy, if you can.
Because I want to go that route. I think the next time we go to the States, he's going to be LAX.
Yeah, he's going to LAX.
Fort Myers to LAX, yeah. Okay.
And then he's flying over.
I fly in and out of LA. We fly in and out of LAX all the time when we're going back to the States.
Now, Mike says he's the year of the ox.
That's where mommy lives.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'll probably fly out of either probably JFK or trying to think of the other one in New York City.
I don't know. I'd like to try the long route. I'd like to try going New York to because I have kids on the East Coast, as you know. I have kids in Jacksonville, so I'd like to fly. I'd like to do that long route where you go through London or Dubai or what's the other main airport there, and then you come into South Korea or Taipei and then head directly to Cebu.
Mike says he's leaving. He's going to go video chat with these asphalt.
All right. See you later, Mike.
Take care, Mike. Tell her hi from the chat.
And thanks for letting us know that they're converting all the old government buildings into apartments. Yeah. That's the same thing they're doing in Sacramento. Yeah. How interesting that they're doing the same thing all over the world. That they're converting the government buildings and the abandoned commercial buildings over to apartment complexes. How very interesting.
Well, they got to do something with them. They can't keep people back in there working. And also, thanks for letting us.
There's a collapse of the commercial real estate. It's happening right now in slow motion, and that's one of the reasons behind it. But also, there's a slow motion collapse. See what this is really about. We'll talk more later on our channel. But Bruce is back. Hi, Bruce. Yep.
But I want to thank Mike before he goes for letting us know about the Canadian World War II cemetery in Hong Kong. If I ever make it back to Hong Kong, I'll have to check it out. I didn't know about it when I was there. I was there in the Navy. When I was in China back in '99. I didn't go to Hong Kong. Hello, Des. How you doing?
Hey, Mike is saying you could go from Turkey to Cebu.
Hey, I had a question.
Hi, Des.
For you, Dan. I got a question for you, Dan.
Yeah.
So, what airlines do you think is good to go? Philippines, Qatar. Which one do you think?
Oh, you're going from through Qatar. So I don't have any experience going that way, but isn't it? What's the Middle Eastern airline, the big one that everybody's always talking about and doing rave reviews about all the time on YouTube?
I can't think of the.
Oh, Qatar Airlines. Qatar Airlines.
Qatar.
Now, Robert says he's flying Starlux. Now, didn't you take Starlux there, Dan?
Starlux, yeah. Starlux was beautiful. I'm going to tell you something. I don't know, Robert, if you've ever flown Starlux, but it was absolutely a beautiful experience, back to back, going there and then coming back into LAX. It was absolutely hassle-free, beautiful crew, beautiful people, and plus cheap to fly, and we were able at the last minute. We were able at the last minute to get the exit row seats for dirt cheap.
If he's flying out LAX, and he's taking Starlux. It's cheaper.
It's
Oh, wow.
but
very
it's supposed to be,
inexpensive.
it's a new airline. It's really new. And
Been in business, I
yours-
think,
yours-
since
yours, Dan's a
2016.
son of it.
That's Ava Airlines' stepchild airline, you know. And so Ava Airlines, the CEO, the guy who founded Ava, his son became unhappy at EVA, the Green Plane. And so he started his own airline. Isn't that nice? I can't stand working for these people. I think I'll start my own airline. And he starts Starlux.
Mike, they may just gut the inside and rebuild it, which would make it a little easier than just, you know, if you just gut the whole place. I worked destruction, and notice I said destruction, at an old hotel. They were going to remodel it, and they tore down the outside walls and gutted the inside and rebuilt it. Now, I was part of tearing it down because I wasn't union. So once they started construction, it had to be union people. I was
Tim,
working for
how
Manpower back then.
expensive is, he's asking how expensive business class is on Starlux. But we never had to
Thanks, Des, for
we
being
never
here.
had to check it out because we got business class like seats right there in the exit row.
This is
Airbus.
going to do a live with me when he gets to Philippines.
Okay. The
That'll be
big
good.
Airbus. The big Airbus
Yeah.
plane.
Yeah, and now Robert also
380.
his son took Starlux and loved it or liked it. So
I mean, not the 380. What's the big Airbus?
770? 77?
No, it was an Airbus.
Oh, Airbus.
Yeah, it was an Airbus. It wasn't a 380. It was the next step down.
I'm not 327. I don't know. I don't know the Airbuses.
But anyway, we didn't have to pay for business class seats. I was thinking about it, but the reason why, because
Thanks, Des.
for an extra $100 or something, they said you could buy these seats right here by the exit row. We'll take good care of you, and they did. And it was just like we were right. The bathroom was right here to my right. It was right here to my right in front of me, and then you have the exit row, and you have all this room. And I remember people were coming by going, "How did you get those seats?" Asked for it, paid an extra $100. How'd you get those seats? And I looked around, and those seats were mostly empty because you have to pay extra for those premium seats, and people just weren't willing to do it.
Dan, Tim says he's asking the question: an A350?
Yeah, it was an A350. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah. Now, I want you were talking about flying. It made me think you like to use the tape when you fly to keep from storing. I'm trying a new thing. They advertised it on Instagram. They have a tape that's not supposed to, it sticks, but it won't leave any residue on your mouth or your hair, so you can tape it to your hair. And it's supposed to keep your mouth shut. It's a new tape they developed. So, like if you got a mustache, you can tape it right over the mustache or your beard. So I ordered that. I should be getting that in about 2 weeks. I hope it works because I hate that chin strap and it doesn't work.
I just used blue tape.
I know. I've been using it too, but it doesn't. It's not good enough to use by itself. I still use the chin strap, so the two work. But I want to get the regular tape that they are selling for stop storing to see if it works because then I can quit using the chin strap. I hate the chin strap.
Man, that's amazing. So I guess it does work. I guess it's up to you. You know, it's how you react to it. But when I was having problems, I trained myself by using blue tape every night. So I was just like,
yeah, I know. I use the painter tape myself, but I still the mouth will still open more, not as much as just the chin strap.
Wow.
That's a nice bird. That 787 is a nice plane.
787.
Yeah.
What's up, Tim Dziak?
Did you see that? Robert, it says 534 one-way LAX to Cebu.
Oh my gosh, that's cheap. I paid more than that.
Yeah, but you came with it was still
actually they got
still
some
gearing up.
$4.99. They got
How much you paid?
$4.99 too.
How much did you pay for this?
I said I seen something today that said there was one that she said 535, and then another one to I think it was it was some I can't remember if it was like Cebu or I think it was Cebu that it was only $4.99. So Cebu or somewhere like I can't or Clark or something, whatever it was. But that I seen that earlier. I was like, it just popped up, man. I was Googling some stuff, you know. I'm gonna be prepared, man. Like I ain't going just, you know, some people just show up and it's like, screw that. I ain't just showing up and saying, you know, hey, do you got a room somewhere? Like I'm booking everything.
Oh yeah, you know, it's in the off season. That's when I like to go. You know, I like to go in the off season. So I was able to get going into Thailand, for example. We got 20 for 22 days. I think I paid $475 or $480 for a room.
Yeah. Well,
wow.
the thing about
22 days.
The farther out you book your ticket, usually the cheaper you can get it.
Oh wow, Larry! Wow.
Unfortunately, I always forget about that, and I book at the last minute.
Yeah. What you got to do is start, you know, picking days to go and make it a month, 2 months, or what? 3 months if you know, and start picking days. See which days are the cheapest if you're flexible on the day you're going. I went to China in '99, round trip tickets, round trip, $753, but I booked almost 3 months in advance.
534 one way.
Like I said, that was $753 round trip, and I had business class on the way back. A coach on the way there, business class on the way back, and but we booked about almost 3 months in advance. I called up and asked with the airline I flew. I called up and asked them if I wanted to go to, you know, Beijing this week, how much would it cost? And they told me almost $4,000 round trip. And I paid $753 by booking 3 months in advance.
Oh wow!
So,
jeez.
And I did not fly out of Rochester or Buffalo. I flew out of Detroit. So a lot of times where you fly out of makes a difference too.
Oh,
those are the things you want to look at. Hey, Percy, how you doing?
Hello, Percy. Jolly Bees. He's got some Jolly Bees, Dan.
Everybody loves Jollibee.
Yeah. Spaghetti and chicken.
I'm going to have to try it. I've never been to a Jollibee. You got to remember, when I was in the Philippines, they didn't even have McDonald's along Jollibees. I was there in the 70s.
Yeah, back then, they didn't have all that stuff. But, you know, and that's the thing is, you know, people are lucky today because they don't have the convenience of what they had back in them days, you know, in the old days. So,
well,
I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Like, I grew up like poor, Larry. So like when it comes down to it, it's like
when I was younger, and I mean when I was before my teen years, I was middle class. During my teen years, I was lower middle class. What happened was my father went on total disability when I was about 12.
Oh wow!
Right? And my father was a truck driver cross country, and he was, I want to say he was loading, because back then they had to load and help load. This was in the mid-60s. Help load and unload the trucks a lot. So he was either helping load or helping unload, and he picked something up wrong. He went from 258 pounds down to 150 in 3 months and never worked another day the rest of his life. Now, he made really good money driving cross country, good enough that my mom stayed home and take care of his kids. Now, my mom and dad had 7 kids. Well, actually, they had 8, but only 7 of us made it home from the hospital. But anyway, you know, he made really good money. She could stay home, take care of the kids and all that.
Wow.
And then when he went on total disability, well, she ended up having to go out and get a job, but she didn't make as good as money as he did. But
wow,
so we were,
Robert.
you know, we were still doing okay. But now, you know, you only got what you needed. You wanted something, you went out and earned it. So I started doing odd jobs and stuff as a young man. Raked leaves, cut grass, shoveled snow, all that good happy stuff. And
Oh yeah. I mean, I've done that. I mean, that's what you get taught. You know,
Yeah.
at least I can say that. You know that most of the people over there, man, they just want to work hard, man, and stuff for little pay over there. I mean, it's.
Robert
But
just
they
said I
work.
took
That's
JFK to Cebu, China Airlines 4 or 5 years ago.
it's-
$390 round trip.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember those days.
That
China
would be
Airlines,
so
I'll
nice.
never fly again.
That would be
Still
so nice.
don't know what they served me for food on that flight.
Well, I'm not talking about
Oh, I
China
think,
Air. I'm talking about the price of it.
Yeah.
That would be
it's the
sweet.
I mean,
surprise, right?
You look at the food and you go, what is that? Is that snails? Is that worms? What is that?
Well, I'm
So,
going to be honest with you right now. If I was to go right now, I would probably try that Starlink from everything I've heard.
Yeah,
Of.
Starlux, or
Either that or
Starlux.
PAL.
Yep.
You know, the problem with PAL is that, you know, I've got issues with them. They're old planes. I know they ordered a whole bunch of new ones, but that's a beautiful thing about Starlux is these planes are brand spanking new. I mean, they're beautiful, and they take care of them. You know, you're not going to find torn seats and dirty carpet and all this other crap like you will on some of PAL's planes. I mean, they got to get
PAL was that way.
They're expensive to fly PAL, and they got to get their act together. People just don't want to pay those premium prices to get the crappy, nasty cabins, and the crew. They're not nearly as nice as they are on
China Airlines sucks.
China Airlines was very scary because on that flight they made a service stop that was not on the itinerary in northern China, and they took us off the plane. Yeah, it was pretty scary. And they a whole bunch of guys approached the plane, and they had in English, by the way, in English, it said bomb squad.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and they made us so we had to deplane, board a bus, go into the compartment, the private area. We had to take all our baggage with us, and we were all searched individually as they went through the plane.
Yeah. Now I'm going to tell you, Robert, the Korean Airlines. If you go through Korea, that one airport, is that the one in Seoul? Or I want to say it's in Seoul, Korea. There's one airport. They got a place where you can go actually rent a place to lay down and sleep. They got places to take showers. So that'd be a good place to have a layover.
Places all over, man. Like even like if you like went to like Russia or Ukraine, or if you went to like what is it? I've seen now I can't think of it, but they got all those all over the place now. You know, going Europe and stuff like that too.
Anybody?
Oh, hey, Larry. So I was watching this guy I watch. He's a YouTuber that just travels around. And he actually he just went into China like a couple days ago, and he was told that he couldn't say nothing to the airline people. You know, not at all. They told him can't talk to us. You know, like if you want something like you know, like it has to be time. I don't know because I've never been on obviously that one you guys were talking about, but I think that's awful, man.
Yeah.
That's that guy. You know why he got in trouble for interviewing people? I can't think of his channel name.
Yeah.
He got in trouble. They banned him from a couple of the airlines, right? Because he kept.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, he worked it out with them. He was able to work it out with them, but he's not allowed to talk to them and interview them at all anymore.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, he's
because he did that report about the shabbiness of the planes and all that. It was Emirates it was Emirates that got him.
You can't do that. You know, that's
Emirates is one that I would think about taking because I think that's one that you can Now,
They got issues, Larry. Emirates has got issues.
Isn't that the one where you can get it to sleep that'll lay down and you can go to sleep?
That's the way it used to be, Larry.
Oh, okay.
Larry, remember things change, man. You know, it's
Well,
not
that's
like
what I'm
it
saying.
used
I
to
mean-
be. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
because remember when Cathay Pacific was the #1 airline in the world?
yeah.
Things change, you know.
Well, when I went to China, I took Northwest.
Yeah, Northwest on the 747.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful flight. They always were. Northwest was the bomb back in the day.
Oh yeah, back in the 90s, it was nice.
Yeah.
Uh,
You would fly
Well,
Northwest, did it many times to the Philippines.
Well, the
That
people I
was
went with at the
Josh-
time
yeah,
were all
Josh
living in
Cahill.
Erie, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I drove over to Erie.
Fortress in the
Erie to-
sky, baby.
We flew from Erie to
Yeah,
Detroit,
thanks,
from
Tim
Detroit
Deasy. I
to
appreciate it, brother.
Beijing.
Yeah,
Nonstop.
that's you know, I get it. Like people want to push boundaries and stuff, but like, you know, there comes a point is like you got to look at something. If you go to somewhere that's not U.S., you're going to somebody else's country, man. Like
That's right.
You're a guest. You're not a.
That's
you're
right.
not. You got to act like a guest. If you come to my house and you're my guest, I'm going to treat you with respect. I'm going to give you a beer. I'll feed you, whatever. But if you come in my house and spit on me, then you're going to get thrown out like a dog. And I mean, that's just
Bruce,
dude.
that is why a lot of people hate us all over the world, is because you get idiots that think it's okay to go down the walking street and film the patrons coming out of the bars. This is the
Can't do that.
reason. You know,
Remember
it's
that-
not your
You're not supposed to do
country.
that.
You can't start screaming about your rights, your Filipino rights, when it's not your damn country.
Remember it was a book and it maybe made into a movie, The Ugly American. This is about the
Oh,
way,
yeah.
not that their guy was ugly, it's just the way he acts. And there's
Well,
a
people
lot
don't
of
act
there are a
like
lot
us,
of
Larry. That's the point.
expats
Is what
and
Dan's saying.
travelers.
We
that
got
are ugly when they
respect, but
travel.
these other clowns don't.
They think they're still in the U.S. and they're not.
Yeah, and that's the real sad part about it.
So Tim has identified the culprit as being
Josh Cahill.
Josh Cahill. And I got to tell you
Yeah.
something. Here's the thing about what goes on that idiot on the walking street. It's not the Filipinos that you have to worry about. Trust me, it isn't.
It's the other expats.
No, it's the business owners you have to worry about.
All the business
Yeah, it's the
owners.
business, Larry.
Yes.
They don't want their businesses.
You're taking your life into your own hands if you're challenging them. I'm telling you, they're going to protect their money at all costs. And I'm telling you here and now, I mean, they'll do whatever they have to do in order to, how shall I say it, neutralize your critique.
Exactly. I mean, they just had a thing the other day with Brett. What is his name? Brett Kavanaugh or something like that from London. Okay, he, obviously they've got the democratic rights or whatever it is. They got freedoms and stuff that you can video. Okay, you got people in the U.S. you guys know that are out filming cops, left and right. Make sure that and you've got people that think because they do that. Then they go somewhere out of the country. They think they can do that. Okay. And when you're told you can't film, you do it again, you're going to wind up in jail or somebody's going to bury you somewhere. The business
Exactly.
owners, Larry, in these places do not want things publicized like that all over the world.
No, you
Like
threaten their livelihood. When you start threatening somebody's money, then all bets are off as far as what can happen to you. And so go ahead, go down there and talk about all your rights. Go do it. I dare you. Go do it.
Right.
Keep it up. But make
And that's the
sure
thing is
you
with
have
that
your
now.
fund ready to go. Make sure you leave instructions about where you would like your remains.
Yep, and they're not going to play around, man. I think people in the U.S. That's what I mean. People in the U.S. Have got it so much better. All right, but the point is, all right, when you're in so many different countries, just like I was saying, I wasn't like supporting or saying anything about Taliban. Okay, I know some people. I got a friend of mine that went through Pakistan and went through about 3 weeks ago. He didn't have no problem in those places, but they told him, you film any women or you film any of these businesses around here, and you're going to wind up, you know what? They don't play around. Them countries don't play around. I don't know why my friend went, but that's his choice. But he called me from Kabul. I couldn't even believe it. And it's like he had all these people around him. And it wasn't about, you could film kids, but you can't film women. You can't film businesses. You can't film any kind of military thing.
That's international law. Tim is pointing it out here. See, a lot of people don't know that we signed on. There's an international treaty that has to do with you asking permission before you film. Tim is saying
I
here,
don't
once
either,
you
Tim Deasy. I don't like him either, and you're right. You're absolutely right. So
Now,
go ahead, like Dan said, you can go ahead and go do all that craziness over there, but you're gonna find out that all right, it's not U.S. You ain't gonna be filming cops like that. They're not gonna tolerate that crap.
now, hold on, Robert. Chris just quit doing the live streams and videos altogether. He's asking.
so I can tell you a little bit about what happened to Man Minnie and I. So I have a guess of what may have happened to Chris. So it's a really difficult transition to make when you, for example, in Chris's case, I have no knowledge about this. I have no knowledge about what happened to him, but I could tell you that when you're transitioning to retirement after you've raised your kids and your kid starts going off to college, it's a very, very rough road relationship wise, having to make that transition, because now you're both, in the case of Man Minnie and I, we're spending all our time together. Before she was working, I was working. Our paths hardly even cross. You really get to know a person very, very well when all of a sudden the kid is raised, they've gone off to college, and now it's you and me, and the dynamics change a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I have no knowledge about what could have happened to Chris, but Chris was out there. He was making money on YouTube for a while, and then, like a lot of channels, it started to crash. Just like a lot of people are going through it right now. And so, if we're married and there ain't no money coming in, I'm going to be like, get out there and find something to do. To make money to contribute to this household. Now, I'm revealing to you that the transition can be challenging, and you have to be very, very flexible.
I'm going to say his wife was working, but his daughter probably by now she's probably in college.
She's probably in college, and the dynamics change. So what am I going to do as a single man who's working age, and I'm hanging around the house? I'm going to have to either ramp up my YouTube channel, or I'm going to have to go out and find something else to do to keep me busy.
Well, hopefully he found something to do, and maybe it kept him at home, because being an American and not a Filipino descent, it'd be hard to find a job in the Philippines that wasn't online, probably.
Right.
He used to do medical. He used to do the inventories or the inputs for medical payments and stuff.
Right.
So hopefully he got into that again.
Yeah. No, I think that's probably what happened. Is he found his way. But I mean, let's face it. If I'm a young, available male living in the Philippines, and my wife is out there doing her 40 hours, and I'm sitting at home, I better be having something to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, let's be honest. But many of us, I won't say everybody, but many of us miss his live streams. I mean, he used to, and this is no lie, he used to get well over 100 people. He'd get 80 or 90 all the time, but he'd get well over 100 people in some of his live streams.
It was nice. It was like going to the club and hanging. It was like going for a beer and or a cup of coffee and hanging around with the fellas, your friends.
Yeah.
That's what it was like for me.
Yeah. Well, that's how you and I met. That's how I met Robert and Mindanao. That's how we met Ed Denoy, Big Mac Daddy. We met him that way. All the JLBs we met that way. And like you said, Ed Lippert, we met him that way. Jerry in South Texas, that's how we met Jerry. We met so many people through Chris. And like Mike married, well, back then he's Mike married to a beautiful Filipina. He's changed it to Mike married to a beautiful woman.
and Ed also, Mac Daddy.
Yeah, that's what I said. Mac Daddy and his son.
Yeah, Mac
So
Daddy and his son.
We met so many people that way.
It was a way different dynamic, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Chris would be walking around showing you what's going on, and you either ask Chris a question, and if he caught it, he'd read it. If not, a lot of times you just talk back and forth to each other while you're watching. And it was he was the first live streamer I ever watched. I'm going to be, to be truthful, he was the very first one. I wasn't sure if I was going to enjoy live streams. I'd found him before he started doing live streams. Watched, and like I did with you, I watched all of his videos and caught up, and then he was getting ready to do live streams.
Really, the hint that I got that something was up was when I ran into, and by the way, I went looking for it again recently and can't find it. Remember I was telling you that I went online and all I did was put his name in the search engine in Google, and I ran into his resume. And so in a website, and so he was obviously he was out there looking for work. So
yeah,
I mean,
and like you said, it's probably the dynamic. He probably decided, well, I need, they had money, but he's like, well, I need to start making money again.
Right.
YouTube wasn't paying like it was, and
because he was doing great. He was doing great doing product reviews. I don't know if you've been into his channel in the olden days or not, but
oh yeah, like I said, I went back
fantastic.
and I watched every one of his videos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that was before he started live streaming.
Yeah.
And I watched all of his videos and these live streams. And like I said, when he first said he was going to do live streams, I was like, man, I don't know if I'm going to enjoy that.
Get your camera out, Tim Desiak, and go down Walking Street and see what happens. Go ahead, just do it.
Well, you'll get dirty looks at the minimum. At the minimum, since I've done it before, you'll get dirty looks.
I'm going to tell you, Bruce, I have no interest in going down Walking Street. But
well,
it's
culturally, it's a cultural experience that I feel like everybody has to have.
No, I don't need that. If I want to do Walking Street, I'd rather do it in Bangkok.
It's one of the most interesting places. Oh, Bangkok! Bangkok. It's so interesting since I'll be there. Yeah, I'll be there on Nana. It's really one of the greatest people watching experiences that I've ever had in my life.
No, I was just joking. I'm joking around with Tim because he knows he's like all of us, man. There's just certain things, man, you just don't do. So I mean, obviously, it's just common sense.
If I went down there, it'd be strictly for my own entertainment. It would not be any videos.
Yeah, exactly. So I would not ever do it. You see this more happening in Soi 4, which is okay because but you don't dare take a camera into Nana Plaza. I could tell you that. Because they will tell you first of all they search everybody that goes in there, and so if you've got your cell phone with you, they'll tell you right away. Make sure that cell phone stays in your pocket because there's no videotaping in the plaza. And so, like I said, we hang out when we go there. We hang out at the Stagger Inn. One or two times we've been in Hooters, sitting there in the watching the action on the street. But it's a very, very interesting experience. As far as Walking Street goes, I'm with Tim. You'll never catch me ever videotaping or taking my camera onto Walking Street ever again because I get the message. I've already gotten that message. Don't do it if you value your life and that of your families.
Oh, exactly.
You don't have to do anything but tell me once.
Like I said, it's something I have no interest in. If I'm in the area, let's say I'm in the area visiting somebody, I would go look, but it's not something I would go there to do.
You'll even get dirty looks if you sit there at Envy Bar where what's his name hangs out. The couple that were involved in that controversy with the Korean businessman,
Yeah.
but they usually hang out at Envy. Once in a while, I'll see them there, right? And so, but my experience hasn't been great with them. They've not been approachable during the times that I've run into them. I did, by the way. Their total opposite would be the regular guy who is approachable. In other words, to give you some kind of an idea, regular guy is very approachable. but not these guys. You know,
I mean, I seriously,
tried to.
if I didn't know something, Dan, I would ask people that I've known, and I would ask people that I trust. Somebody
Right.
like Tim, if I seriously needed to ask a question, I would message him on Messenger, and I'd ask him,
Right.
hey, is this cool? Like, what's this about? And he's gonna tell me, because he's been there long enough. But
Right. I got dirty
I'm
looks
not-
even
I
even
don't
setting
care
up.
what people do.
It's set even setting up my cell phone camera, where it was in a very inconspicuous spot on Envy Bar, where everybody hangs out there, right there before the Walking Street sign. By the way, someone has told me that the Walking Street sign has been taken down, and so I believe it. I think it's true. Maybe Tim knows, but someone told me the Walking Street sign has been dismantled. And so that would be an interesting development. But someone told me it's because construction, they're putting in storm lines and all this other stuff. Folks, this is what we're going to be talking about a little bit more on my channel. I don't want to steal Larry's vibe here, but truth be told, this is happening all over the Philippines. They're putting in water treatment plants. They're putting in storm drains. They're putting in sewer systems. The infrastructure improvements that are going on in the Philippines right now, not all over the place, places that have the money that can afford to do it, is absolutely
And that's the thing is
incredible.
they're only going to do probably certain parts, right, Dan? So I mean, they're not going to do everywhere, but it's a good thing because again, we went through all that infrastructure that took a little while, but things should be fixed, and there's nothing wrong with none of that if it gets done.
No, except that it's all American money, except for this.
I understand. That's
Well,
Yeah.
they need to improve the infrastructure, really.
Well,
Not for the just
Not
the
at
experts,
all.
for everybody.
listen, as soon as the
man, what did
listen,
you
this
look
is
at
why
me?
this is one of the reasons why I'm saying that inflation is going to happen here in the Philippines, but it's not going to have the same impact that it will have in the States, or it is having in the States. For example, when you get the military building 3 or 4 bases, now it's even more. It's something, the number's something up. We have like 10 bases in different states of being built right now. When you start doing stuff like that, you're infusing a bunch of cash, a bunch of American dollars into the Philippine economy. It has an impact. It has a positive impact. And one of those impacts is infrastructure improvement.
Well, if you go to Subic Bay, where the Navy was at, you'll find the infrastructure there is much better than a lot of places in the Philippines
Well,
because of the military.
Larry, that money, I still have no idea what the hell Oregon's doing with. There's some things. I'm not going to sit here and put like everything down about stuff, but I'll be honest with you. They seem to like to do other stupid things with money, and then when the public gets upset, and tells them, hey, why are you doing this stuff? Then you get shot down and told, hey, you're going to get arrested for asking. It's just idiotic, man. Like, the whole point is if
after McCain,
do it.
Hey, but I don't know if you know this, Bruce, or not. I think Larry may know this. But after McCain and his entourage visited Subic Bay a few years ago, a few years prior to his death, all of a sudden, right, you're seeing new sewer treatment plant go in, new fresh water plant, all these improvements. And the next thing you know, Dan Quayle buys the shipping yards, and then they're getting a contract with the U.S. military in order to renovate those ships that are coming into dry dock. I mean, cut me a break, really? Nobody knew all this was going to happen. Come on, guys.
Well, sure they did.
I still remember McCain, but that wasn't. I mean,
they privatized it. They privatized the entire shipping yards.
That's what I said. The back door people knew it was going to happen. And when I say the back door people, I'm talking about the politicians.
Larry, I love it when you talk dirty, brother.
Oh yeah.
The politicians are dirty, aren't they?
Sorry, Larry.
That's all right, Bruce. The politicians are dirty, though. Those backdoor deals, those behind closed doors deals.
Yeah, they happen all the time, obviously. If you want to get rich, if you want to become a millionaire, it's easy. Just copy whatever Nancy Pelosi is investing her money in. It's public knowledge. You know, she has to disclose. You just follow what she's doing and be timely. When she gets out, you get out. When she gets in, you get in. And then you're going to become rich in no time.
That's if you find out in time, because you may get in and out before you know it.
Well, I'll tell you something that we all found out about. All right, when they were giving out stimulus checks to people, all them rich older senators that have been there, you know, since they were like probably 19 or 20, were buying stocks and then selling them. And Nancy Pelosi's husband actually sold several of them because they knew what was coming down. They knew that the 2020 thing was going to go crazy. We were going to end up having what we had, lockdowns, and all of a sudden, all this money.
Well, that's why on the Philippine channel, I'm always talking about don't fall into the trap. Don't become embroiled in this debt economy that they're trying to create in the Philippines, because we've played through this. We've played through this before, and they're trying to suck you guys in because you're perfect for the picking. You're young, you work hard, you're educated, you know, and so they're looking at the Philippines, they're going, man, this could be totally a debt-driven economy, just like the United States.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's the thing about 2020 that teased me off was all these people that made more money sitting at home than I made working. And I worked a lot of overtime. And they still made more money than I did. I would have made more money if I stayed at home, but I couldn't stay home because I never got laid off.
During that 2020 period, they enhanced my retirement during that period. They enhanced my wages during that period. They gave me all the overtime that I could handle, you know, And I think that I've never made more money in my entire life, nor had those enhanced benefits. It totally was a game changer as far as my retirement goes.
Well, I'm not saying I didn't make more money. I made a lot more money.
It's pretty amazing. I'm talking about they did other things like enhanced benefits and retirement. In other words, they came and they said, "Hey, Dan, you know, every time we give you this raise, right, it increases your retirement contribution," and so it increases the retirement contribution because it's based on hourly wage. Yeah. And so I would have probably had that couple of years, 2020 to 2022. Was extremely beneficial as far as my ability to retire goes. And so I keep thinking about it, I'm going, man, it's so interesting the way the world works.
Well, like I said, during 2020, we were 2 to 3 people short where I worked at the whole year. And they couldn't bring people, you know, I worked security, but they couldn't bring somebody that wasn't assigned there because our contract said they couldn't. Our contract with the company said, no, if they're not working here, they can't come in and cover the overtime. The guys that work here have to cover it. They got to be trained for here. They got to be assigned here. So I got a lot of overtime. I worked probably an average around 72 hours a week for the whole year.
Beautiful. And love it.
Like I said, I made good money, but I could have made more money laid off, staying at home, not working.
Oh, well, you know, we ended up in California, we ended up getting stimulus check, and then another stimulus check. We were getting every time I turned around, there was more money showing up in my bank account. And I was thinking to myself, is this right? How does this work?
Well, that's the same thing that happened. I mean,
people in New York only got the stimulus check from New York if they were getting unemployment. So if you got unemployment, you got an extra 600 or more every week.
Well,
I know.
Look at this.
On top of your unemployment. And that's not
hooray.
Right?
Hooray.
You can still work, right?
Get it. I still make more money.
At that time, were you still working when they shut people down? Were you still working?
I was, yes.
Okay, Dan, were you still working?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I was too. So when they say shut down, like, yeah, obviously they said shut down, but they never said anything about people not going to work except the ones that just wanted to stay home, and because they were told.
No. Where I worked at, they weren't allowed to come in. There was quite a few months they could not come in. Security was the only ones working. They worked it from home, or they didn't work. These were engineers. Now the maintenance people, unless something went wrong, like
there was only
bus
about
pipe or something like that, they stayed home.
Days that I didn't.
Yeah, it also happened.
I was still going.
No, so in our government building that I was working for, they had to pull teeth in order to get people. They were ordering them to come to work. They kept saying, "Come to work, come to work, come to work," and then finally, they relented and said, "Oh, the state of California is saying we got to send, a certain percentage of the workforce home," and so it was mandated that they had to send people home. And so I would come to work, but my positions, as far as that goes, was not one of the mandated positions. So I would be coming to work, and I'd be looking around. There'd be nobody there. There'd be no boss. There'd be no supervision. There'd be no workers. There's Dan sitting there at his computer. I'd be like, woohoo, woohoo! Time for a coffee break. Time for another coffee break. Time for another coffee break.
Well, where I worked, like I said, there was two of us on a shift. So it was me and the other guy, and one of us would go out and do rounds, and the other one would stay there to watch the monitors to make sure nothing went wrong. And then he'd come back, and then you'd go out and do rounds a little bit later. So that's what we were doing. Now, later on, when they started letting people come back in, they could only come in during certain hours, and we had to go up and check them. We had to take a thermostat, dermal, where you just hold it up to the forehead. You didn't have to swipe it. Point like it looked something like a gun. You pointed at it, and if their temperature was below a certain temperature, or you could let them in. But every time somebody came in, you had to go up there, check.
Oh my gosh, they turned you into a nurse. They should have given you a raise.
Oh no, they didn't give us a raise.
Because now you're doing medical. Now you're doing a medical job.
Yeah, but we never did get back to full staff that whole year. But because it was a automotive place that made parts and did research, they opened it back up. But a lot of people still was able to stay home and only had to come in once in a while. But like I said, security did not get a single day off during that whole time. If you were scheduled to work, you worked, and then you worked some days that you weren't scheduled to help cover the shifts because you were shorthanded. We started off 2 people short, ended up 3 people short. Like I said, I average around 72 to 80 hours a week.
Wow, that's great.
And the paycheck's on, so that burned me out on overtime. I don't care. I don't care for overtime anymore. Now, over New Year's, I worked 52 hours that week.
See, I loved it. I loved the overtime.
I love the check. Believe me, I love the check.
I was enhancing my retirement. Every hour I worked, I was just, when you're in the home stretch, you're looking at that and you're going, oh my gosh, no matter what I think about whether I want to work or overtime or not, well, I have a payday coming that's bigger than anything I could possibly have done without the event taking place. It enhanced it so much that I was so grateful that I mean, I'm sorry the whole thing happened, right? But once I realized that this was a payday, I was just like all in.
Well, like I said,
I'm going to work as much overtime. I'm going to show up to work every day. I'm going to sit there, enjoy my life, sitting there in front of my computer. I always had this in front of my computer screen. Yeah. The coffee came first.
Now, on New Year's Day itself, I worked 12 hours. And then I worked another 8 hours on different days.
Double overtime, bro.
No, for me, it was just time and a half. And then that's because they don't pay you overtime till the end of the pay week, which is a Thursday. So holiday we only get time and a half for the holiday. But because that was a holiday, I got 12 hours. Well, that's 18 hours pay. And then I worked 12 hours total of overtime. So there was another 12 hours to give me as over. So I had, it ended up being quite a bit of chunk of change. So I enjoyed it. Now, Christmas, we were shut down. Nobody worked. And that's the first time I ever worked in a place that not even security worked Christmas. And I would have been working that day if they were open. Not open. I mean, if they had security, I would have been there. But they didn't. They locked everything up. Everything was on alarm. And so if an alarm came in, I guess they had people set up to come in and take care of it. But security wasn't there, so I had the day security off. I mean, the holiday off. And but now the next day I went in an hour and a half early to open things back up because I didn't want to bring a guy in for an hour and a half, so I just went in an hour and a half early, and so I didn't get overtime because I was off Christmas, but I didn't lose as much time either. But it was fun. Yeah, I have a temperature gun too, Tim. I still have one. This one's mine, but the one there was work provided. I bought one myself, and I check my temperature every once in a while to make sure if I'm not feeling, because sometimes my sugar makes me feel a little out of whack, and if I feel that way, I can take my temperature and make sure it's the sugar and not something else. Because I'm a diabetic or pre-diabetic, however you want to look at it. My numbers are pretty good. I was like 6.3, I think, this last time my A1C. So it's not where it would be if you're not diabetic or pre-diabetic. If you're pre-diabetic, after you get up, it should be like 5, 7. It should be under 6. And but mine before I had been up as high as 9, so mine's way down. And so I'm doing real well with that. The doctors were real happy with my numbers. They just want me to keep it up. I've been losing weight.
Hey, Tim, you ought to be very careful who you point that gun at.
Yeah. Remember, it's illegal to have a gun in Philippines, buddy, if you're not Filipino.
Oh, that's right. A temperature gun. Yeah, I could just see that. I could just see me pointing that temperature gun at people all day. What are you doing with that thing? I'm going to shove that thing. Oh, never mind. Quit pointing that thing at me.
Get one of those speed guns.
Yeah, you go. There you go. Hey, Larry, it's been fun. I got to take off, but I just want to remind people I'll be starting another channel, and I hope you'll join me on that channel because this is the kind of stuff we'll be talking more about. Maybe you'll be able to put up with me, maybe not, because I'm gonna get at the root of the matter. I'm gonna get where the rubber meets the road in this channel. I'm gonna be talking about it. All this stuff and more.
Well, let me know what channel it is. I'll join either one of my channels or both of them. But
that'll be great. All right, we'll see, and
we'll be
doing the panel chats also. We'll be doing it this way.
All right.
So, but we'll be talking about some political stuff.
Like I said, me. I like the panel.
It'll be that, and it'll be the economy and housing. As Crystals knows, I'm wrapped up in the housing thing. And I'll tell you where I see housing in the U.S. going in the future, and you won't believe it. You won't believe it. It's going to terrify you.
Unless something drastic happens, I will be out of debt in about 9 months.
That's great, but they're going to put you back in debt.
No, they're not. Because when I say out of debt, I also mean right now I could pay one of my bills off, but if something happened, I wouldn't have the money. And I'm talking about I have a couple $1,000s ahead over what I pay each month. That's sitting there for emergencies, and I'm still going to be out of debt, not touching that within 9 months. So, and that will probably build up over that time too, because I don't use all my money. Although I do donate some money to a couple of vloggers I know to help with some of their entertainment things. Probably more than I should, but I can afford it, so I guess
that usually happens. I have to watch it this year. I make sure it doesn't get out of control. I was totally completely out of control last year.
Well, I give more than I probably should, but like I said, it's the first time I can do it. And I actually have the cash. And so, and this is my entertainment. All right. I rarely go out to eat. I usually order a pizza maybe once a week, but I usually don't go out and buy something to eat or go and sit down at a restaurant and eat. I used to do that all the time. I don't, in the last couple of years, I think I've been to 2 movies. I haven't been to a bar in 5 years or longer. I just don't do that.
No need to apologize, Larry.
Well, I don't drink and drive. And there's that where I live now for these 3 years, there's not even a bar close enough to walk to, well alone what I like. Now, where I lived out in Leroy, there was bars I could walk to, but I didn't like them.
Mm-hmm.
They were neighborhood dives, if you know what
Yeah,
I mean.
we don't have any bars here in Bye-Bye, so we have to go down the Sorry store. In fact, we're getting ready to do it today. I think we have friends coming over.
That's when I drink. If somebody comes over, if I'm at somebody's house, I'm going to stay the night.
Yeah.
Or I'm at a hotel and I might go down the bar at the hotel bar and have a drink.
Right.
Last time I had a drink, that's what I did. I was at a hotel bar.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Stay safe.
Everybody that I know that live around here that I run around with, they don't drink. I got a bottle of wine in my refrigerator somebody gave me. I have no clue when I'm going to open it. I don't even know how long.
Can you send it my way, please?
It'll probably go bad by then because it's cold now, so it'll get warm. And I need to find out how long it'll last once you open it. And maybe have a glass of wine every once in a while before going to bed just to relax. But I'm not really a wine drinker to begin with. But this was a gift for Christmas, and I don't know why they gave me wine. They know I don't drink wine usually, but it's what they did. Maybe the one that I'm not sure who gave it to me. I know who gave it to me, but I don't know if it was them, their brother, their mother, because I know all of them, or maybe their daughter. I just don't know. Now, she knows I don't drink wine, but at least I think.
All right, Larry, it was fun hanging out with you and the gang. I will see you next time.
I think being that you're bouncing out, I've been going for almost 2.5 hours. I think that's long enough. I appreciate you coming up, and I want to thank everybody for being here. And I hope you all have a good Sunday or a Sunday day or Saturday night if you're here in the States. I want to thank everybody that stayed here in the chat, the ones that came in and asked questions. I want to thank Robert in Mindanao for coming up and saying hi. Well, not coming up, but coming in and saying hi, saying he'll join me in a live stream sometime after he gets to the Philippines. Crystal, thank you for coming back. Your presence is always appreciated. Tim, thank you for coming. And I want to thank Des, if she's still here in the background, for coming in. And everybody else, too many people to try to say because I don't know who's all here. It's just showing I have a couple people left, about 4 people. And so I just want to thank you all for coming. I hope Mike is enjoying his time talking to his wife. So remember, everybody, be kind to each other. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Plus, as always, try to have fun. Peace out.